Chapter 6, Sir Berlin.
Hello, and welcome to the Cosmos video channel. We are an online store specializing in cosplay costumes. You are now listening to our original novel, The Extraordinary Werewolf. If you have any interest in cosplay outfits, you can contact us at cosmos.com. Now let's begin the story. Previously on The Extraordinary Werewolf, Glenn learned that his transformation into a werewolf was caused by the infection of lycanthropy from his attacker. He also discovered he possessed an extraordinary level of control and power, even managing to subdue a hostile monster. Now, fully recovered and equipped, he's heading to the nearest town for supplies.
The closest town to Bayek was called Dude. It was a relatively prosperous settlement with almost all amenities: schools, a town hall, a police station, factories, and more. Carriages of various kinds and people dressed in outfits clearly denoting their social class moved through the streets. The surrounding Gothic architecture made Glenn feel a sense of disorientation as he walked in. Compared to Bayek, this place felt like another world. Though he had all these images from the original owner's memory, experiencing it firsthand was entirely different. The crowd seemed larger than usual today.
Did something happen?
Glenn, who quickly adjusted, noticed the difference, but he wasn't overly surprised, as the memories indicated this happened occasionally. It was usually due to a traveling circus or some festival. Glenn wasn't interested in any of that. He bought a few ingredients from several vegetable stalls. The money in his pocket was down to just 2 copper coins.
I need to figure out how to earn some money.
Glenn, carrying large and small bags, walked back the way he came, his steps light. Suddenly, he reached out and steadied a young boy who had nearly tripped.
"Thank you, sir."
The boy thanked him earnestly. Glenn gave a slight nod. Just then, another boy's voice came from nearby.
Myers, you don't need to be so rushed. Berlin is right there. You'll see him sooner or later.
Glenn turned his head and saw 5 young people approaching, laughing. 3 boys and 2 girls. The one who had just spoken was the tallest boy among them.
"That's the Grand Knight who defeated a third-tier vampire. I've only heard our teacher talk about him. Aren't you all eager to see him?"
Myers explained, glancing sheepishly at a blonde girl among the group of 5.
You should still be careful. It wouldn't be good if you got hurt.
The 6 quickly walked away, their voices fading into the crowd. Glenn recognized these people. No, rather, Dylan recognized them. They didn't know Dylan, but he had occasionally run into them while traveling to this town. The reason he noticed them was simply because the 2 girls were very pretty, leaving a deep impression on the original owner. If his father were still alive and the family wealthy, Dylan would have certainly pursued them. But the original owner no longer had his former pride, only a deep sense of inadequacy.
Grand Knight Berlin? Is this the reason it's so lively today? The original owner doesn't remember this guy either. Doesn't concern me.
Tightening his grip on his bags, Glenn continued walking, clad in gleaming silver armor, a red cloak embroidered with golden thread, his face stern and steady, conveying a strong sense of gravity. This was Myers' first impression of Berlin. Although slightly different from what he had imagined, it was close enough. Berlin rode alone on a silver-armored white horse, followed by 2 neat columns of armored knights. The 2 knights leading the way held high banners, symbols of the kingdom's will flapping in the wind. Amidst the enthusiastic cheers of the townspeople and the admiring whispers of the girls, Berlin's procession marched in neat formation toward the lodgings the mayor had arranged for them.
"Dear Mara, look! That must be the Rill's greatsword our teacher told us about. It's beautiful. And that one, that must be the White Lion's spear with its demon exercising power."
Myers excitedly tugged the taller boy's sleeve, pointing out the greatsword on Berlin's back and the twin pistols at his waist.
We know. You don't need to tell us. The teacher didn't just tell you the legends of Berlin. We practically grew up hearing his stories, and today we finally see him in person. He looks so powerful.
Dear Mira was also slightly excited. For boys their age, heroic figures naturally hold a massive appeal.
I'm going to become someone like Berlin someday.
One slightly chubby red-haired boy declared.
You should focus on how you're going to pass the teacher's examination in a few days, Pock.
Laughed the beautiful girl with blonde hair and striking features, wearing a wide-brimmed soft hat. Her friends burst into laughter.
Pernus, don't even mention that. You're ruining my good mood.
The red-haired boy complained, scratching his head. Their laughter grew louder,
All right, stop teasing Pock. He's trying his best.
said the other pretty girl with long brown hair and cute features, quickly stopping the others when she saw the red-haired boy blush. The boys stopped their teasing, and Pock gratefully looked at the brown-haired girl.
Thank you, Layla.
The girl smiled faintly and said,
Prepare well. You will pass the teacher's exam.
At the Knight's Inn in Dude Town, Berlin's entire troop came to a stop. Enthusiastic townspeople were held back by police officers to avoid disturbing the night's rest. The mayor, a white-haired, white-bearded old man in respectable clothing, smiled and walked toward the dismounting Berlin.
Esteemed Sir Berlin, we have prepared your chambers. Please, this way.
Berlin nodded and said,
There's no need for excessive fuss. We are only staying here for a few days to look for any sign of those two wanted werewolves. We have more important matters to attend to later.
The mayor's expression shifted to one of slight alarm.
Sir Berlin, could those werewolves appear here? Please ensure the safety of our townspeople, sir.
You don't need to worry, Mayor. Those two werewolves are merely low-level creatures with weak bloodlines. Their threat to you is limited. Even if we don't find them, a few constables with a few guns should be able to handle them.
Berlin's voice was steady, offering a great sense of security. Hearing this, the mayor's face brightened considerably. Strolling along the road back to Bayek Town, Glenn thought about dinner while monitoring his surroundings. As the path grew more secluded, he encountered fewer and fewer people, until a lone, unfamiliar figure appeared in the distance. Glenn slowed his pace, his eyes fixed on the figure.
Not another monster, right?
Glenn remained calm and slowly approached. As the figure came into focus, Glenn got a clear look and smelled a somewhat familiar scent. It was a man dressed in gray-black burlap, wearing a strange head covering. His skin was dark, and he had deep dark circles under his eyes. His expression was flat, suggesting he was a serious, unsmiling person. The familiar scent Glenn recognized was that of Bayek Town. He assumed this man was also a resident there, though the original owner hadn't met him. The man was standing side-on to Glenn, holding a bag of goods in his left hand, indicating he, too, was returning from shopping. A prone figure lay in the tall grass at his feet, which Glenn didn't see until he got closer.
Sir, are you also a resident of Bayek?
Glenn asked tentatively. The man turned his head, glanced at Glenn, and nodded without changing his expression.
A man of few words.
Glenn paused briefly, then looked at the figure on the ground, whose condition he couldn't determine, and asked in a low voice,
Did you kill him?
The man shook his head.
Then what is going on here?
Glenn was puzzled.
Don't miss the next chapter. Please subscribe to the Cosmos channel to follow the extraordinary werewolf and explore more great cosplay content. Would you like to hear the next chapter, or do you have any questions about the characters or the world so far?